people are not deeming it safe? Is it because they felt that it happened too fast or they're worried about side effects? They need to hear this information from trusted messengers.
The Biden administration is also making a big push to get kids back into schools for in-person learning. The White House announced plans to spend $10 billion on COVID screening and testing in schools.
With this critical funding from the American Rescue Plan, we hope more schools will reopen across the country and more kids will be back in the classroom soon. We know that testing works. We know that it works to identify cases and slow the spread of COVID.
The CDC is also considering shrinking the social distancing guidelines in schools from 6 feet of separation to 3.
CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky testified Wednesday that the 6 feet separation guideline is one of the leading reasons why some schools have remained closed. Now, many Americans have already seen those $1,400 stimulus checks hit their bank account. Once you see that extra money in your bank account, though, many are tempted to spend it on something that would normally be outside of their budget. Financial experts, however, say the best way to use that money is to build a good foundation. If you have accumulated debt on high-interest credit cards, go ahead and pay those off. Before you do some investing, though, make sure you have a 3 to 6 month safety net for your family's budget. And new details this noon. If you still haven't filed your taxes yet, you have a little bit of breathing room. The IRS is delaying the deadline until May 17th to give you some extra time to file due to the pandemic. This is the second consecutive year the IRS has delayed the federal tax filing deadline. Last February, the deadline to file and pay 2019 federal income taxes was extended to July 15th. And this just in, Ohio students will now have extra time to take state-mandated tests that were interrupted by the pandemic. This comes under an emergency measure passed unanimously by the Ohio House. The Senate approved some final changes to the school measure before sending it back to the House, where it passed in a rare 92-0 vote. The revised version of the bill includes the emergency clause, which ensures the measure takes effect this school year. For more information, go on over to our website, WTRF.com. And listen to this. The Wilson Lodge at Ogilby just received some renovations, and officials are ready to show them off to the public. The West Ballrooms, Fort Henry Room, and Terrence Room all saw upgrades to improve the guest experience. We have a full look coming up later tonight on 7 News. And still to come on 7 News, Aaron has that full look on your rainy Thursday afternoon. Don't miss it after the break.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care.
Hello everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the storm tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Mostly cloudy, periods of rain through the day, heavy at times. Daytime high near 56. Overnight low down to about 32 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. You'll see mostly cloudy conditions around for your Friday with a high near 50 degrees. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Penny ladies in my And a nice way to start a rainy Thursday. It's ugly out there. But, as I'm driving on 70, bumper to bumper on where they're doing some work, right after Claysville, I'm thinking this could be snow. So I'm happy. I know Greg Brown will stick it to me at 105. It's sunny down in Bradenton. It's an off day for him, and I think he might be calling us on the golf course. So he'll stick it to me, talking about the weather, and he can do that. I'm just glad on his day off he can come on the radio with us to talk about the Buccos. And I'm glad at 12:35 we got Mr. Hockey Puck, no, not DJ Abasella, but Bob Grove on to talk about the Penguins. But why did I play Penny Lane, you're asking? A, I like the song. B, it's Penny Lane Day. The Beatles went gold this day way back in 1967. They received a gold record for Penny Lane, which, what was it, Lola, about a bus going around town, checking out the barber shops and stuff? Yeah. I know one thing, we can't play the full song because of some regulations, okay? I think we're only allowed like 25 or 30 seconds, but in that, and I tried it out last night, I listened to it over and over again, there's a trumpet solo in there. And stupid me, I had to count how many times, the notes remained on the final part of the song. 7. I thought there were 6, but I didn't have enough time to count on my fingers when I was playing it over and over again, all right? But at the end of some of the 45s that were released by the British venue of Capitol Records, it was Ringo Starr with the conclusion on the final note, all right? Yeah, I like to do stupid things like that. That's like one day a long time ago in the Three Dog Night Celebrate. At the end they say, celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music. Well, this idiot counted every one of them. And it took me about an hour. I think it was 30 times. So try it when you have some time on your hands. Like tonight. I'd like to meet the guy at TBS that scheduled UCLA and Michigan State at 9:58. When there were other games that they could have placed there and maybe had the game on at, 6:15? 7:58? Most of us will be sleeping. That's a primetime game for a game-in situation. The loser, of course, goes home, and, they're fortunate to be playing in this game-in situation, and it's a great matchup. Two great institutions, UCLA, Michigan State. TBS has it on at 9:57. I don't know, maybe it was something about commercials. I have no idea. But, maybe I'll watch it after I watch the hockey game. The Penguins play one of the worst teams in the league, way down at the bottom of the list in the Eastern Division. They're awful. In their last 12 home games, maybe they've been watching the Naylor home games. Is that a knock? Yes. On their last 12 home games, the Devils are 1-11. All right? But the Penguins might be out with a couple of centers, one of them named Evgeny Malkin. He took a vicious hit the other night. And if you know your history with the Devils and the Penguins, the Devils seem to play very, very well, no matter how much they stink, against the Penguins. So we'll see. We'll see. Ralph Kruger, I hear a real nice guy, but nice guys, as Leo DeRocher once said, finish last. He's outside on the street. Hopefully he has a nice severance check. He was given a pink slip with the Buffalo Sabres, who are not going anywhere. And the new coach is Don Granato. Granato, I think his brother is Tony, who was once with the Pittsburgh Penguins coaching staff. So some changes there. I know if you ask the Penguins, they don't like to hear about opposing player getting hurt, okay? I can understand that. But you know what? This is sad news for the Islanders. One of the best players in the league, their captain, tore his ACL the other night. Anders Lee, out for the season. And he plays his best hockey against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And right now the Islanders are in first place in that East Division. So it's a tough loss for the Islanders. Just like it would be a tough loss for the Penguins if Malkin or Crosby or Letang is out for an extended period of time. So one football note for you. A.J. Green, when he's healthy, and that's a big if for the last 3 seasons, if he's healthy, he's one of the best wide receivers in the league. He always seemed to play his good football against the Steelers. Even if the Bengals would lose 33-10, you know that he would have 7 or 8 catches. Well, he's no longer in the AFC. He's in the NFC with the Cardinals. Why did he leave Cincinnati? I would have left Cincinnati. The Cardinals have a better team, I think. 1 year, $8.5 million. It doesn't sound like a lot for a wide receiver, does it? $6 million guaranteed. Yeah, AJ, see you. Thanks for the brief memories. Good luck out in Arizona. Hopefully you like golf, okay? Last but not least, before we take a break, if you're wondering who West Liberty will be playing next Wednesday, where are they playing, Lola?
Evansville.
Yeah. Is that Indiana?
Yes, it is.
Wow, they're having Division I and Division II in that state. Boy, I bet the hotel people are happy. But next Wednesday in Evansville, West Liberty, a 7th seed in the Elite Eight, will take on a number 2 seed that I'm familiar with, Northwest Airlines. Not Northwest Airlines, to Fabio. Man. Northwest Missouri State. I think they were champs 2 years ago. And a long time ago in another galaxy, I think West Liberty played them. They're very good. They're very good. Number 1 seed, I didn't look it up. I'll have it for you later. So I got to call into Ben. Maybe we can tape something before he leaves for the Big 8, all right? Be nice to see at least go to the Final Four with the Hilltoppers. I know they've had a great season, and if you ask any of their players, they'll be honest with you. We won it all. We won it all. So does the other 7 teams in this tournament. But it's number 7 versus number 2, and I think you can watch the game on Hilltopper video or whatever on your
Channel
computer.
14.
What is it?
Channel 14.
Would I get that at home?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, because I know the AD and the regular sports guy is going to be out with the team, so I'll find it somewhere to watch, okay? Yeah, got to go for those Hilltoppers, a local team. You want to do well, man. You want to do well. You know, put the city of Wheeling and that small town. Is it a town, Lola? Yeah, they even have policemen. I found that out when my kid went to school there. I was told, make sure you don't speed. Yep, and I did. I was afraid I'd hit a bear, squirrels, you know. But it's a nice, comfortable area, and I'm glad Anthony went there. And I'm glad the other son went to Slippery Rock. And they made the decisions. I paid the bills. And that's what I'm here for. What else, Lola? 1,600 players and coaches will be in Indianapolis for the Big March Madness, okay? If you're wondering about West Virginia, well, I'm going to tell you about WVU, what they're favored, and where you can hear the game. If it's on TV, turn the sound down and listen to it on the radio, because those Mountaineers will be playing tomorrow night. We'll be back with more sports, rock and roll, whatever, because we like to entertain you, and we're positively entertaining because we're the watchdog.
Listen to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio, just the way you like it.
When winter weather strikes the Ohio Valley, you can trust the Storm Tracker 7 weather team to help you plan your day. Our experienced meteorologists stay connected with you on TV, online, and on social. Get your weather information straight from a local source. We'll help you be prepared and make sure you'll never be surprised.
And we do expect dry conditions overnight, tonight, and all day tomorrow.
Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker, Aaron Mylar, and me, Zach Petty, the Storm Tracker 7 weather team. Working.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Paint? No. Paramount isn't just paint. It's the #1 paint in overall interior hide and stain resistance, providing the most advanced protection in just one coat. And now you can get that same outstanding protection with our new Paramount One Coat White. This first-of-its-kind one-coat ready mix white provides a beautiful white finish. You'll find Paramount paint exclusively at Menards. In third-party tests, interior paint claims versus super premium home center brands in eggshell sheen.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings or mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Shady Side. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Shady Side trusts the Watchdog.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Lola, nice segue. That's the tune they're playing at Morehead State, because they're playing West Virginia tomorrow. It's going to be an impossible mission for Morehead State, but you never know in the first round. We've seen it happen in football. We've seen it happen in basketball. I saw it happen in '97 when I was fortunate enough to do the PA, and South Carolina was the number 2 seed, like in the country, where they were number 2 ranked all year, and they lost to number 15, Coppin State. And I remember the broadcaster for South Carolina sat next to me, and I could hear him. I wanted to tell him to shut up, but I couldn't do that because, you know, I respect my fellow media guys. But why'd they put him next to the PA guy? And he kept saying Coppin State, as in Myron Cope, I guess. But it was Coppin State. And that, you know, it happens. A number 1 can lose to a number 16. Maybe we'll see it this year. I don't want to be Gonzaga. Gonzaga has that target on their back. Everybody wants a piece of the number 1 team that's undefeated. And remember, we haven't had an unbeaten team since 1976 when Bobby Knight had, I think he had like 3 All-Americans, first-team All-Americans on his team. He had a big center named Scott May. He was huge. He was built like Herman Munster. He was better looking than Herman, okay? But that was an unbelievable team. So it can happen. That's why March Madness is cool. You got your brackets filled, Lola?
I just did today's games.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all. You know,
Are you going to watch Michigan State tonight, or will you be sleeping?
no, I'll probably watch it because
Okay.
I'll be up. you know.
Okay. All right, I still think 9:57. That program director, TBS, ought to be, oh, I can't say that. I got to be
I
nice.
don't know that they're the ones that said it.
Maybe it was the NCAA, I don't know. But whoever made a decision ought to be sent to Siberia. It's ridiculous. I wish I had the brackets here where they could have moved other games, like a Drake or whatever. I don't know. I'll probably watch it too. The hockey game ought to be done at 9:30, you know. I usually don't get to sleep. I don't know the last time I had 8 hours of sleep. I just toss and I turn, toss it and turn. That was a song back in the 50s. But I'll probably watch it so I know what the hell I'm talking about tomorrow. Or I'll watch the replays on Yahoo Sports. That's one thing I like about today's social media, or just media. If you forget something, you can go back and check it out, or you can go back and check out the clips. You know, same with the Penguins, whatever. We talked about Greg Brown. He's going to join us today on his day off. Thank you, Greg. Talking about the Pirates. I want to ask him about the biggest catcher in Major League Baseball, which is a guy named Jacob Stallings. Yeah? I thought years ago the Pirates ought to get rid of this guy. You know? He's like his father. His father couldn't win at Pitt, and I don't see the Pirates playing with this guy behind the plate. And he's one of the best defensive catchers in the league. Boy, was I wrong on that one. I'll admit to Greg Brown that I was the idiot that said, why are the Pirates keeping this guy a couple of years ago? Or I should have waited. Yeah, I'm excited about baseball. You excited about the Tigers, Lola?
I haven't really, it's so early.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea. I put one of their preseason games on, and the announcers right off the top said, you're not going to see anybody.
Yeah.
You know, so I always just wait to be, you know, I'll be disappointed again probably, so why set myself up so early?
Yeah, but if they're competitive and they get out the gate with a few wins more than losses, that'll gather your interest, right?
Well, yeah.
And they'll be playing at PNC Park. So we're only 25% they're going to allow? This is what I don't understand, Lola, and tell me if I'm crazy. Oh, you've already told me that. Texas Rangers, full capacity. Full capacity.
The governors.
Yeah.
If they want, Texas is opened up completely. So, you know, we shall see. I mean, a lot can change between now and even the start of baseball season.
Yeah,
So,
as much as I hate the Yankees, you know, or the Mets, whatever, you know, I feel sorry for their marketing people and ticket sales people because they're only going to be allowed, 12% for a Yankee game? I don't know. I have no idea. I think the Pirates and Phillies are 20% or whatever. If you're a Wild Things fan, I shouldn't say we. Well, I can't say we because I'm on their payroll, so I can say anything I want anyhow. If you're thinking about the Wild Things, you know, last year they didn't play too many games. Really, they weren't league games. You know, the owner, Stu Williams, said, we're going to play baseball. So, you know, they had 4 different teams. He supported 2 of them and everything, paid for expenses for the other guys, just to have baseball for the fans. Okay, there was a few fans there, but now they're allowed 50% capacity. So you figure it out for me, Lola. If the Wild Things field seats 3,700, what's 50% capacity? Hurry up, before I take my shoes off and count on my
What is
toes.
it, 3,600?
3,700.
37, so that
So we
would
take
be
half of that,
about
right?
1,600.
Yeah.
Oh, how much did you say?
3,700 capacity, and they're going to be allowing 50%.
Right, so that's half of that. That's
Okay.
about 1,650.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be like a regular season game during the week.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so, and that keeps people working, like me, But, screw me. I don't care about me. They pay me well. I get to have a hot dog, which I can't eat right now, so I'll bring a vegan hoagie or something. But I think of all the seniors that have jobs as ushers, meeting you at the gate, working in concession stands. These people need the second and third jobs, okay? And I've been talking to a lot of my friends, they're all excited, A, they're working, and B, they'll have a nice paycheck. But, between now and when the first home game's like June 1st or 2nd. But between now and then, we don't know what the hell's going to happen in this crazy, wonderful, wacky world we live in. So I have no idea. I'm just glad people are working. Any people. Did I tell you my son's enjoying working for the post office, Lola? No. You know what he was doing yesterday for 8 hours? They were showing him how to sort letters and stuff and putting them in baskets.
Anthony is so smart and so clever. I honestly can't see him sticking with it because he's going to get. Right now he's learning,
Yeah.
so it's every day. is a
But
little
down the road, they
different.
said they might have a job for him as IT.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be, but the thing it may have,
Yeah,
it is the government.
yeah.
I mean, it's just he's too smart. He's too smart and too clever. And I just can't see
Well, you know where he
him
got that
being
from, don't you?
happy With being,
Smart, clever. You know where he got that from.
his mom.
Yeah,
Mary Ann's really, Mary Ann.
So we got anniversary number 1986 from 2020 is what? 21? 30? How many years? 35? I should know that. We have a 35 anniversary. What is it, May 10th? So from May 3rd to the 10th, we're going to Deep Creek and pig out. And if she gets smart with me when we go on one of those boats, maybe she'll accidentally fall over. I shouldn't say that because she could probably be listening and call the lawyer. Mary Ann's your day off. Go ahead, call the lawyer. No, but we're going to have a good time. We haven't really spent any time together. And I want to do it while I'm still healthy. I can still walk and breathe and all that. Just get away from all of it. All of it. Get away from all of it. Deep Creek, I love it. And I love my eye doctor, who was nice enough to give me his condo. All right? But when I leave, I don't like freebies. I got to do something. When I leave, there'll be at least 4 or 5 bottles of his favorite wine on his bar. So, what do you call those boats? Is it a paddle boat? No, it goes by itself. I don't know. But for like $10, and you got to put $25 down for like insurance, and you get to $25. Well, I don't know what it is. You go up and down that river. I mean, it's great. Deep Creek is a great place. Ask Art Rooney. My buddy Art Rooney is going to be this introducer and the presenter to Bill Cowher. I thought Cowher would call me and ask me. Because remember, he had a fun time when Santa Claus interrupted his press conference. Not like the time I interrupted Tomlin, but that's another commentary. I thought, sure, Cowher would call me and say, Bill, would you like to present me in Canton? And I would say, no. How much would you pay me? No, I wouldn't do that. Art Rooney, that's going to be Steeler Nation in Canton. All the bars better stock up. How many Steelers we got going in? Palomalo, Cowher, Nunn, Shell. Woo-hoo. That's a fun time. That's a fun time. And there'll be some Cowboys there. So the Cowboy fans will be there too, but, I don't care unless they bring the cheerleaders, but whatever. But we're going to be in Deep Creek. If it's raining, snowing, we'll have a good time, And there's some great restaurants. I'm going to go to, I forgot the pizza place. It's owned by a girl from the Bronx. Her name's Debbie. Here's how we met. You walk up the steps to the dining room, right? And I heard that they're like really famous in the area. As soon as you walk up to be greeted by the hostess, you're looking at New York Yankees stadium seats from the original New York Yankees. And I'm like, oh, no. Don't tell me. And then I was introduced to her, and I said, are you a big Yankee fan? She goes, we're the best. Better than what you're wearing on your head. Of course, I had a Red Sox hat on. Boy, did we get along. So my next trip there, the following year, I brought her New York Yankee yearbooks, media guys, and she was really happy. You know, we got a pizza out of it, but we also spent a lot of money because the food was so good. Everything is homemade. Oh, you have to almost make reservations, so we'll go there. Then we'll go up to the fish place. Then we'll go up to the crab place. Then we'll go to the movies, which is real cheap, so we're going to have a fun time in Deep Creek. You know, it was either that or Wheeling Island, right? Wrong. Okay, we have to take a break, Lola? Yep, Lola says take a break, and Bill says, yeah, nodding my head, yeah. Okay, we'll be right back. And we're going to talk baseball. And I know I'm going to be reminded how warm and how sunny it is, and I don't care, because on his day off, he's going to spend time with us on the Variety Show. Positively entertaining.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. In Beckley, a man is in custody on charges of murder and malicious wounding from an early morning incident. Beckley police say 34-year-old Rashad Thompson has been charged with the stabbing death of a 7-year-old child. The murder happened about 2:45 this morning at the Lewis Ritchie Apartments in Beckley. A 24-year-old woman was also stabbed. She is in critical condition. Police say Thompson lived at that apartment and was taken into custody. He's in the Southern Regional Jail. A Raleigh County pharmacist due to be sentenced this afternoon in Beckley Federal Court on wire and fraud and money laundering. 39-year-old Natalie Cochran of Daniels will enter a plea agreement to those charges last September. West Virginia is part of a lawsuit against the Biden administration and the Keystone XL pipeline.
21 states are suing President Joe Biden, arguing he does not have the authority to cancel a permit allowing the project. Biden revoked the permit on his first day in office as part of his agenda addressing climate change and changing energy markets. The pipeline would have resulted in thousands of barrels of oil going from Canada to the United States. West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey and others argue in their complaint that Biden's action affects interstate and international commerce, which only Congress has the authority to do. West Virginia's federal officials have previously raised concerns about the revocation. Senator Joe Manchin sent a letter to Biden last month asking the president to reconsider his decision. I'm Alex Thomas, WVMetroNews.com.
And you're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. About 800 residents of the west side of Charleston got their first Pfizer shot on Wednesday. Fruth Pharmacy staging that clinic at Grace Bible Church. Company President Lynn Ruth says having a community vaccination event is all about access.
You'll see that a lot of folks are walking up to this clinic, and that's because they don't have access to transportation. So having something in their community removes a lot of the obstacles.
From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Want to buy your own home but think you can't afford it? What if you got down payment assistance or a discounted interest rate just for being a recent college grad, teacher, nurse, or veteran? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency offers this and more, and our programs are always available for eligible Ohioans, big city, small town, and everywhere in between. Find out if you qualify at myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are. Did you know that 3 Ohioans are diagnosed with oral cancer every day? Dentists are doctors of dental surgery and can recognize life-threatening conditions and treat oral diseases before they become serious health complications. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
This is Boone Fire Chief Larry Holmes, reminding everyone about the seriousness of this COVID-19 in our region during these colder weather months. This virus is spreading rapidly and could put a strain on our hospitals and emergency services. I am asking everyone to please wear a mask. It's important to make sure your mask covers your nose and your mouth at all times. Wearing a mask is one of the only defensive tactics we have to slow this virus down. Remember, wear a mask, stay apart, and wash your hands.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. you can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford. Does this current crisis leave you wondering how to pay your bills? Well, a lot of people are struggling right now. I'm attorney Tom McIntyre. Call me today to schedule your telephone or video conference meeting, and I will send you a copy of my new book about bankruptcy, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Call 877-456-4155. Together, we will figure out what to do now and what to do when this is over. We will get through this together.
Tune in to Marshall County's second favorite son, Donnie Gilbert, Fridays from noon to 2 on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, The Watchdog.
It was a beautiful day, sun beat down, I had the radio on, I was driving, trees went by, me and Dale were singing, a little runaway, I was flying, yeah, running down the drain, never would come.
Well, I've only made about 4 mistakes in 40 years in this business. Yeah, like 4 mistakes every day. And I made a big boo-boo. Stay tuned for Greg Brown from sunny Florida. Well, we have from Pittsburgh, a rainy day, Bob Grove. Sorry about that, Bob. You know, I'm not afraid to say I made a mistake like some people in my business, but it happens, especially when you get old, you know?
Yeah, no, it absolutely does happen to everybody, so no worries. And, you know, I'm sure that Greg Brown's fans will be, you know, waiting for the next time because he is, I love listening.
And you know, he's
really good.
Today's his day off, and he texted me last night, I'd like to come on. I said, yeah, okay, whatever, because I thought he might be calling us from the golf course. You know, because he, Walkie, and Wayner, they love to play golf. So I'm just happy that, you know, I was going to schedule him for tomorrow, but I got a lot of basketball, a lot of hockey. I mean, this is a crazy time of the year, March Madness. And it's madness in the National Hockey League. I'm getting tired of this Eastern Division. I'd like to see maybe Toronto or Montreal, San Jose play, Carolina, Columbus, they're next door. But, you know, with all the COVID-19 and everything, there's less travel. But it's very interesting in the East. And I'll start off with this. No Malkin tonight, right?
No, Malkin's not going to play after being knocked out of the game against the Bruins on Tuesday night. You know, he played less than 4 minutes of that game, tried to come back, couldn't make it, did not skate this morning, so no, he won't be playing. And, you know, the Penguins already lost Teddy Bluger, so they've lost their number 2 and number 3 centers. Yeah. And it's going to be a big challenge for them. I mean, they're playing a New Jersey team that's, yes, coming off a win, but it's been pretty bad the last month. But still, when you lose your number 2 and number 3 centers, it's a big challenge.
Yeah, it is. I was surprised the other night, Boston. I'm figuring, the Penguins going to beat this guy. He's 28 years old. It's his first game. You know, let's put one in the win column. Well, I was wrong again.
Yeah, Vladar played very well in his first NHL start. He had played a playoff game briefly last year, but he played well, and the Bruins have been struggling to score. You know, did the best they could, and the Penguins had their chances. You know, the third period was, look, the Penguins were down to 10 skaters at forward, you know, with both with Malkin out and with Tanev being thrown out of the game for his hit. They only had 10 forward. Remember, they were playing on back-to-back nights. So they played the night before. So they were tired to begin with, and they only had 10 forwards to rotate through. So it was a big challenge, and the Penguins weren't just quite up to it against Boston, but they played a good game.
Yeah. And by the way, the guy that hit Malkin, which was a clean hit, he got taken out later in the game, which some people say was, you know, maybe it was just a regular. Tanev hit him. But his head hit against the boards. Is that why that he got a 5-minute misconduct? Tanev?
Well, I mean, the penalty call on Tanev was for boarding, yes. So, you know, that's not a typical. It's Jared Plenorides that we're talking about, and he'd been acquired earlier this season from Nashville. he's a big boy, and he hit Malkin, which was a clean, a clean hit. Still not quite sure what happened to Evgeny on that particular hit, but Kanev's one of the leading hitters in the league. When you think of a boarding call is when the way the penalty is phrased, it's when you hit someone violently into the boards. But, you don't typically see a call like this, which is really an open ice hit. It was not within a few feet of the boards. It was out farther than that. But, the skating momentum that Tenori had, and then the force of the hit took him into what was a violent collision with the boards, but Tanev didn't drive him into the boards. No. So I personally felt there shouldn't have been any. Forget about being thrown out of the game. I didn't think there should have been a penalty at all, let alone a 5-minute major. And I think we heard some of that from Sidney Crosby after the game. He said, "Look, as players, we just need to try and understand what's a good hit and what's not, because obviously the players don't know right now." That was his take on it, and other players have supported him in that. So it was an unfortunate circumstance for the Penguins. They killed off the penalty, but as I said, when you take a guy out of your lineup in that situation, he's missing the rest of the game when you've already lost the forward. It was just too much for the Penguins to overcome.
The kid for Boston that got smacked by Tom Wilson, is he out for a long period of time, do you know?
I don't know what his status is right now, to be honest with you.
And when's Wilson coming back? He should be due back in a couple games.
Right? Yeah. He got 7 games. I want to say the Caps have played 5 of those.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he'll be coming back. He'll be coming back very soon.
It's amazing how a lot of friends of mine, and they're big hockey fans, they hate the guy, but they'd love to see him on our team. I like him. I'd like to see him in a Penguin uniform.
Yeah, I think he should have got more than he got for that.
I agree.
He can play the game. There's no question that Tom Wilson can play the game. It's just he's not learned how to, kind of stay within the lines there.
Yeah. Tough loss for the Islanders, who are in first place. This may be good news for the other teams. I'm sure they don't like to see a star player get hurt, but captain of the Islanders, Anders Lee, we won't see him for the rest of the year. Torn ACL. That's a big hurt, right, Bob?
Well, he's their captain, and he was their leading goal scorer when he got hurt. So it's a huge loss for an Islanders team that doesn't, outside of the Barzal line, they don't score much. So, this is something that the Islanders are going to have to think about. It really hurts their scoring depth. Not only do you lose your captain, he's tremendous in front of the net. Anders Lee kills the Penguins there all the time. On the power play, getting the rebounds, getting in front of the goalies, providing screens. He wins a lot of puck battles. So the Islanders have been, they've been the class of the division so far. They've been really, really good. But they will make a move. They'll go into the trade market and do something because they just can't. They believe this team has a chance to do what last year's team did, which is make a run to the conference finals, and they can't. I don't think they can get there without Anders Lee. So I look for them to do something by the deadline.
Do they have enough good players or a good player to make a reasonable trade to help them offensively?
Well, you can always move the assets. That's generally what a lot of teams are looking for, right? Depending on who they're trading with, they're looking for draft picks, they're looking for young prospects. So, you always have a chance to make a trade where you're not impacting your team's lineup because you're dealing with assets that aren't there yet.
Yeah. You know what I watched last night and I couldn't believe? They lost on their home ice. Well, there's no such thing as home ice when there's no fans. Philadelphia, okay? No, I think they were playing, were they playing at the Rangers? I'm not sure, but New York Rangers beat the Flyers 9-0. Who kicked the field goals?
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I can't pronounce his name, had 3 goals. Zimbazak or whatever. Zimbani? I don't know.
Sabanachak.
That's it, Sabanachak. Yeah. I'm glad he's not in Pittsburgh and I don't have to mention his name a lot. Okay.
Yeah, well, the game was played in New York.
Yeah.
He had 6 points. He tied an NHL record with 6 points in the second period alone.
Whoa.
He had a natural hat trick, 3 goals in a row. And, the Flyers, that's an awful defeat. So they've got the Islanders tonight. So we'll see what kind of reaction they get. But, boy, you don't see games like that very often.
No, all in one period, too, right? That's amazing. What was sad, nobody could throw hats on the ice rink, right?
Well, I didn't have a chance to watch the game, Bill, but fans had been allowed. MSG had fans a few weeks ago, so I assume there were definitely fans there, I'm sure.
All right. Well, it's good. There's going to be, when they play home games at the, I almost said Civic Arena, when they play the games at PPG, the 2,800 fans, knowing some of those fans, it probably sound like there's 10,000 fans there. But at least the players, the players will tell you, man, it's strange playing without fans. A lot of them will say they don't pay attention. Yeah, you pay attention when you go to places like Washington and Philadelphia and Boston because it's so loud. And when visiting teams come to Pittsburgh, the Penguin fans can get loud. So it's nice that some fans will be able to come and check it out. Buffalo Sabres, if they're not the worst team in the East, they're one of them. Given the pink slip was Ralph Kruger. No, don't call me. He's not related to Freddie Kruger. But Kruger is out. And Donnie Granato, how do I know that name? His brother? Tony?
Well, his brother Tony was an assistant for the Penguins for many years, and of course played in the league for many years as well.
Was he a Penguin?
Tony Granato?
Yeah.
No, he was a Penguin coach, but he didn't play for the Penguins.
Okay, all right, because that name sounded familiar. Didn't he play for the Rangers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he was a terrific player and a terrific American player. So we'll see. The Sabres are the worst team in the league, so we'll see if Granato can get anything out of them. I kind of doubt it, to be honest with you. So I think the onus is on Kevin Adams, their general manager, to start making moves because this season's lost, and they need to figure out how to go forward right now.
It's very popular with my colleagues, especially the young guys that think they know everything. How about this for fake sports? Jack Eichel going to the Islanders.
Well, I wouldn't rule anything out. I mean, they're getting a lot of... Jack Eichel's hurt, and he's out longer term. So he's not coming back next week, and he's not coming back the week after next. This is the way it's been portrayed. He's out for a while.
Okay.
So, that may push... I mean, that's going to affect his, the number of teams and the kind of offers they get until people get their hands around when he's expected back. I haven't heard anything about that. I would assume he's expected back before the start of the playoffs. The Sabres could probably get more for him in the summer, if they even want to trade him. I mean, we don't know that. They've been getting calls about Jack Eichel from a lot of teams. I don't know if the Islanders are among them, but they've been getting calls from a lot of teams because, obviously they've got to move a lot of players. So the Sabres do. So we'll see if Eichel if they move him and they're going to start all over again, or if they're going to keep him and move other pieces. But that'll either happen. Right now, I'm kind of sensing it might not happen until the summer, but we'll see.
You have a sense of anything that Ronnie Hextall will make a move, whether it's big or small?
No, he doesn't impress me as someone who's he's gonna do anything dramatic.
Yeah.
Right now, I just don't see that. I mean, look, let's see what's up with Malkin. I mean, we haven't yet heard anything. I don't know if the Penguins have said anything of substance yet this morning. Sullivan was to address reporters, but I think when we got on the air, he hadn't done that yet. So I don't know. Look, if Malkin is, and it didn't look serious to me. So just looking at it, I would think he's not going to miss that many games. But if the Penguins come out and say Evgeny Malkin might be done for the season, then Ron Hextall's got a different challenge in front of him, because the Penguins, I don't think they can make the playoffs without Evgeny Malkin. So, and I don't think that he's going to be out for the season. I'm just saying, let's wait and see. But if Malkin comes back relatively shortly, I still think it's logical to think the Penguins might do something by the deadline. But I don't think Hextall's going to make some big, bold move. That's just the impression I get.
Although I took a beating selling my old baseball cards, I still have a lot of my hockey cards. And I went through my Wayne Gretzky cards. Couldn't find the rookie card that's worth $1 million or so, but I think I got some bucks there. So I'm going to leave you with this trivia question. Are you ready?
Okay.
Has to do with hair. What does Terry Bradshaw, remember Steve Durbano? He was a badass man. Couldn't skate, but he could fight. What does Steve, Terry, and Bill DeFabio have in common?
No, I haven't the slightest idea, Bill.
We both endorse hair pieces for Hartford Hair Clinic. I got the pictures of Steve before and after. I got Bradshaw before and after. I got me before and after. Before, I looked like I was in prison. After, I looked like I could have been a movie star. But they got paid a lot of money. They gave me some free hair pieces. And I still have one. It's a collector's item if you'd like to bid on it.
I think I'll pass on this one, Bill.
All right. But I remember Steve Durbano. What was it? He and Battleship Kelly took on a couple of the bad St. Louis Blues brothers. Who was the bad brothers for that team? It was like...
the Plaguers.
Plaguers, that's it.
Brothers.
Yeah.
And so they had quite a rivalry back in the 70s.
Yeah, those were great fights. Dave Schultz. Well, Dave Schultz wasn't much of a fighter when he came to Pittsburgh, but as a Flyer, I loved watching him and Cashman go at it, the good old rivalries between the Flyers and the Bruins in the 70s. I miss those days. How about you?
Not really. I'm not a big fan of fighting, Bill.
Okay.
If I never saw another one, I'd be perfectly fine. So, it happens. It's going to continue to happen, but I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah. I like to start them as long as I'm not involved,
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Sorry about the intro. And I'll get Greg Brown's name right at 1:05. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And we'll talk soon. And thank you for all of your hockey knowledge.
No, thanks for having me, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right. The Grover, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Boy, our relationship goes back, to the late 70s, early 80s, when he's covering the Penguins for the Observer Reporter. All right. Good guy. Good guy. Loves being on the show. Loves talking hockey. He always asks me how the Nailers doing. Lately, I'm saying, there's always tomorrow, Bob. All right, we got to take a break. And when we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the crazy, wonderful world of sports, especially on the airwaves here in the next 72 hours.
Tune in to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. on the Valley's favorite live and local talk radio station, The Watchdog.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to...
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Menards is filled with great ideas for getting your home organized. No matter your style, we've got the closet options for you. Start with a wood and metal closet system that's easy to install, or upgrade to a customizable wooden Dakota closet system. Right now, all closet systems are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through March 20th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
WKKX and WVLY voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook.
In the band just started, the singer couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. What's on the mission?
How dare I, who loved wrestling, although I sucked in wrestling in high school, not talk about Pitt, West Virginia, and Penn State. But I will now, because this is what's happening Thursday through Saturday. It's the NCAA Division I wrestling tournament. Where is it? I thought I circled it. Enterprise Center. I know where you're asking me. Where's that? St. Louis. Penn State. I think they're ranked number 2 in the country, right behind Iowa. They are sending 9 wrestlers. A lot of people at Pitt don't care about the Pitt wrestling program. Well, that wrestling program's done better than the football program and the basketball program, the women's basketball program. They're sending 5 wrestlers to the championships. West Virginia, always respectable, but always forgotten because of basketball and football. They have 4 wrestlers going. One of them is from Shaler, my backyard. He's ranked number 20 in the country, Ryan Sullivan, okay? Edinburgh and Clarion, we don't care, all right? Where's Ohio State? They're good. Well, they got a number 7 guy going. And he's from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, where the Steelers practice. And he's ranked, I think, 7th or seeded 7th. Ethan Smith, okay? But Penn State, the real deal. All right, that's good. I mean, Penn State, Cal Sanderson, NCAA champ, great Olympian. He's like Coach K at Duke. He doesn't have to recruit. He just picks up the phone. You know, buddy, we don't have room for you. We already have like 8 high school All-Americans. Thank you. All he has to do is answer the phone. That is a great, great institution when it comes to wrestling. If I was a good wrestler, I don't know if I'd want to go to Penn State. There's nothing to do there. Lots of cows, lots of animals, very few restaurants. State college, maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. It's like the University of Connecticut. It's way, way out in the sticks. And maybe that's why the school produces good men's and women's basketball, okay? But, you know, I wanted to mention, especially West Virginia with 4 wrestlers going to the championships. Let's see if any of them's ranked high. 17th, 9th. That's like college wrestling. You know, you just never know. You know, 1 and you're out. Sure, you can come back and place 3rd, 4th, 5th, or whatever. I think they give plaques to the top 6. I'm not sure. So, but yeah, didn't want to forget the Mountaineers and my Pitt Panthers. So, when I no longer was giving money to BU because of Title IX, they discontinued the football program. I started to give money to Pitt because I started working for them. And all my money would go to the wrestling program because they're on a tight budget. The wrestling room might be as big as Lola's producing office there in my studio here. And they put absolutely nothing in that program. But yet they're successful. So, by the way, Pitt has a number 5 ranked wrestler from Derry, Pennsylvania, Mike Philippi, okay? So we got to root for at least a couple of West Virginia guys to finish into the trophy category, 3rd or 4th, all right? But you never know. That's great. If you've never been to an NCAA championship tournament or whatever, it's like 17,000 crazies. I don't know how many people they're going to allow in St. Louis, you know? I didn't check it out. I don't care because I don't really have, you know, anything involved. I don't bet on wrestling. But I know it's going to be on ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPNU. Is there another one, Lola? I'm looking it up here. No, those ones. There's too many ESPNs. And pretty soon there'll be no NBC SN or whatever. I don't know what's going to replace that, but I think the new people just made a deal with the Penguins. So, you know, the National Hockey League's hurting, you know. They depend, all the zillionaire owners, and they're all rich. You don't see them selling their teams. You know, they all depend on fans in the seats, butts in the seats. And of course, you know, a lot of the arenas, you can't do that. So gone is like ads. That's like last night when I was watching the Rangers game. You saw a lot of ads, you know, covering on the seats. So the NHL might be in trouble down the road. Baseball may be in trouble next year if there's a strike. I think a strike would kill that sport. What do you think, Lola? A baseball strike might kill that sport? Or people will forget once they come back?
It depends on what they're striking over. It'll come back. I mean, Americans have very short memories.
Yeah.
You know, everybody will say, I'm not going to another game, and I'm not going to watch another game until their team starts doing well, and then they're back there.
By the way, Buckeye fans, Ethan Smith at 7, he could go all the way to the finals. He's very good. His record doesn't tell you that he's great, 11-2, because Ohio State didn't have a lot of wrestling matches. But he's a 165-pounder, and there's a lot of quality people there. As a matter of fact, 5 167-pounders are from the great state of Western Pennsylvania. North Allegheny, powerhouse. Cannon McMillan, powerhouse. There's great wrestling in West Virginia. And it used to be, we laugh when we had the Powerade, which brought in all the great teams in the country. And there'd be a team from like the Wheeling area. They weren't very good because wrestling wasn't very good in the 80s and 90s in this area. Boy, am I impressed with the outstanding wrestling teams and wrestling individuals in this area, you know? All right. Yeah. It's not unusual for me to go overtime. But when Lola plays that music, I better shut my mouth or else she's going to send a stapler my way. Tom Jones, not unusual, but it's usual if you hang on for another hour.
Then after me, it's Big Rick on the Big Rick Show. Coming up, for sure, on the greens maybe, Greg Brown on his day off.
It's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die. It's not unusual to go out at any time. But when I see you out and about, it's such a crime. If you should ever wanna be loved by anyone.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At a hearing today addressing the rise in hate crimes, Congresswoman Judy Chu of California, the head of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, says the violence happening today is directly correlated to the negative terms used by politicians for COVID-19, like Kung Flu and China virus.
Even though Donald Trump is no longer president, I believe the most recent round of anti-Asian attacks are the aftermath of 1 year of hateful attacks and 4 years of ugly comments about immigrants and people of color.
GOP Texas Congressman Chip Roy says the violence should be condemned, but not interfere with free speech.
When we start policing free speech, we're doing the very thing that we're condemning when we condemn what the Chinese Communist Party does to their country.
The hearing comes just days after the Atlanta shooting spree. 6 women of Asian descent were among the 8 victims shot at different spas. Georgia police are being criticized for saying that the suspect had a, quote, bad day and a sex addiction. Investigators say they're not ruling out race as a motive. The Senate today confirming California's Attorney General Javier Becerra as President Joe Biden's health secretary. He becomes the first Latino to head the Department of Health and History, sworn in at the White House earlier.
And repeat after me. I, Deborah Holland.
Deb Haaland taking the oath as Interior Secretary, the first Native American to hold that post, with Vice President Kamala Harris overseeing the ceremony. Tomorrow, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will travel to the southern border as concerns grow over the influx of migrants. One Minnesota Democrat urging the president to do the same.
For starters, Senator Mark Kelly suggested President Biden take a trip to the border.
You know, it's always good to see things, firsthand.
Adding what's happening now is a crisis.
There's a process, a legal process for folks who are seeking asylum. That's why we need more judges at the border. I called for, having 75 more immigration judges.
You're listening to ABC News.
Indeed knows unexpected demand can stretch your business thin.
Leon speaking.
Like at Leon's Plumbing.
Sorry, quickest we can get there is next Friday.
To stay out of hot water, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized all day, use Microban 24 sanitizing spray. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Once dry, Microban 24 sanitizing spray is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed.
Russia's leader reacting to a remark President Biden made to ABC News about him.
Vladimir Putin has responded to President Biden calling him a killer. Putin's response on state television, he quoted the phrase in Russian, "I know you are, but what am I?" Biden made the comments about the Russian leader in an interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
You know Vladimir Putin. You think he's a killer? I do.
Biden's words have triggered a furious reaction from Russia's government. It's recalled its ambassador from the US for consultations over the remarks. Patrick Weevil, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
New York's governor announcing today a gradual reopening of outdoor performing arts venues at a reduced capacity that could start April 1st. And baseball will also have fans in the stands.
Flanked by retired pitchers CC Sabathia and Al Leiter, Governor Andrew Cuomo said outdoor sports venues in this state with at least 2,500 seats can reopen in time for opening day at 20% capacity.
If people follow the guidance, Sabathia hoped for an even bigger crowd.
Continue to get vaccinated, do the right things, and let's continue to battle this thing so by the end of the season, we can have a full stadium for the World Series.
The baseball season will start with about 8,000 fans at Citi Field, 10,000 at Yankee Stadium. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
And some states are pushing for more summer classes to help kids lagging academically after a year of remote learning. The new stimulus could help with that summer school. This is ABC News.
What's in store right now at your local Staples?
Your one-stop shop for shipping solutions.
Staples has everything your business needs to ship, like packing materials, mailers, and UPS shipping services.
And now, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services at Staples. Plus, buy two, get one free on decorative shipping supplies.
Staples can even help you customize your shipping materials to create a memorable unboxing experience for customers.
Staples, your total shipping solution.
In-store only, ends 4/3/21. Exclusions apply while supplies last.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN. On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett. After hours of debate yesterday, lawmakers in the Ohio House have introduced a resolution that would expel the former House Speaker from their ranks. The resolution calls for State Representative Larry Householder to be removed from his seat for his alleged involvement in the state's largest ever bribery scandal. Federal investigators have charged Householder and his associates with accepting bribes to ensure House Bill 6, which would reap more than $1 billion in benefits for First Energy Corporation, passed and remained law. It would take 66 votes in the House to remove Householder. The House is made up of 64 Republicans and 35 Democrats. It's unclear when that vote could take place. And a key Ohio State Buckeyes player has been suspended after being pulled over for an OVI in West Columbus over the weekend. Tracy Townsend with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus reports.
OSU head coach Ryan Day reacting to the suspension of defensive back Marcus Hooker.
We're very disappointed and take what happened very, very seriously. And, we're going to let the process play out. He is suspended right now indefinitely. And, we'll kind of see. We'll make the decisions as we go, but want to get all the information first before we did anything.
Hooker was charged with operating a vehicle under the influence over the weekend. His arraignment on the misdemeanor charge is scheduled for Friday. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local. Just the way you like it.
Circulate the air in your home with an attractive new fan from Menards. Check out our wide selection of Hunter ceiling fans. From a traditional look to modern flair, Hunter fans will fit any style in any room of your house. Save 11% on all Hunter ceiling fans. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through March 20th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Mostly cloudy, periods of rain through the day, heavy at times. Daytime high near 56. Overnight low down to about 32 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. You'll see mostly cloudy conditions around for your Friday with a high near 50 degrees. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension,
A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
By the sound of that, and I got it right this time. I know I introduced him at 12:35 instead of Bob Grove, and I admitted I made a mistake. One of my first ones in 40 years. Wrong. I don't know if he's on the greens, but I'm sure the weather's nice down there, and I'm sure he's working if he's not golfing. It's his day off, and he was nice enough to say, Bill, I can join you today. Hey, thank you, Greg Brown, for joining us.
You know, Bill, I'm trying to think of who you offended more, me or Bob Grove there.
Well, by the way, Bob told me he's a big fan of yours, okay?
Well, likewise. I'm still trying to figure out who you... I'm guessing you offended Bob by introducing him as me.
Well, no, I didn't introduce him while he was on the line. I introduced him as a tease, coming up, so... But I was the first one to admit I made a mistake, okay? I know you've never made a mistake in the press box, but I'm not perfect like you, Bob.
You're right there, Bob. I mean, Bill.
Hey, we closed the first hour with Tom Jones. Were you a big Tom Jones fan?
No, not a big Tom Jones fan, but my wife and I went to see him actually down in Washington, PA, about has to be about 6 years ago.
He was at the Meadows, right?
Yes.
I was there. Why didn't you say hello to me?
Well, because you were the big shot. You were, hobnobbing. You were up there with the behind the stage with Tom Jones and the cast and everybody else.
No. I was in the horse barn shoveling you-know-what.
Oh, okay. Well, heck, I should have said hi then. Sure, I walked right by, if not right in it. I mean, you know what I mean.
Did he sing this song? What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you like that?
Of course he sang that.
Did you like what I just did?
No, that was terrible.
Well, thank you very much.
And Delilah?
Delilah, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, Delilah.
That's pretty good. What'd you think of that, Lola? He can do Tom Jones.
Don't give up your day jobs. That's all I'm saying.
Did she say that plural? She included me on that?
Well, I think so. She's honest. Okay. You want her to lie?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because that's not unusual. Oh, what a segue.
Oh, that's awful.
Sometimes I can't stand myself, Greg. Hey, I got to admit something to you, I was dead wrong a couple of years ago when I said Jacob Stallings is not a major league catcher. Now, I really like the guy because I never realized, is he the tallest catcher in the league?
I think so, yeah.
6'5", yeah.
Yeah.
The next tallest is Wilson Contreras of the Cubs at 6'1". I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But, I'm really impressed with the way he calls the game. From what I understand, listening to you guys in the press box, and what is his name? I like to read his article, Jason Mackey, that the pitchers really like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's not unusual. To hear pitchers, pun intended, for pitchers to praise their catchers. Rarely do you ever hear pitchers, rip on their catchers, but I do think it's sincere on their part. And, and by the way, you're not the only one who thought Jacob Stallings wasn't a major league catcher, because quite honestly, a couple of years ago, the Pirates didn't think he was a major league starting catcher because they let him go.
Yeah.
A couple of times. They took him off the roster. And 29 other teams, so 30 major league teams did not think Jacob Stallings was a starting catcher in the major leagues. Think of that.
Yeah.
They all had the chance to take him for nothing.
Yep.
And they all bypassed it.
And probably most of those teams would like to have him, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. No, I should say that because I have been wrong in the past, as have others. I will say this with maybe an addendum that though he probably isn't going to make a Major League Baseball All-Star team anytime soon, Who knows? Because nobody thought 2 years ago he'd be one of only 3 Gold Glove finalists.
Yeah.
Last year, he and Tucker Barnhart and Wilson Contreras were the only 3 finalists in the National League for a Gold Glove. Tucker Barnhart of the Reds won it. You already mentioned Contreras of the Cubs. But this tells you how, so many times in baseball, sports, and maybe in life, you can't take other people's word. You have to believe in yourself and work hard, and that's what Stallings has done. He's turned away the naysayers, that's for sure.
Yeah. You know who was my favorite catcher growing up as little Billy, watching baseball at Forbes Field? You'll never guess. And this
Smokey Burgess.
Yeah. And I like Jim Pagliarone.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You just said I would never guess. And I guessed.
I don't want to give you any more credit than you deserve, Greg.
Was I correct? It
Yeah.
wasn't Smokey Burgess. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You go, you'll never guess.
Yeah.
So my favorite catcher was growing up. It was Forbes Field. It was not the typical catcher. And I go, Smokey Burgess.
Yeah, well, I
And
didn't
then
want to give you any more credit. That's why I went on to Jim Pagliarone.
No big deal. And you went right to Jim Pagliarone.
Who was he traded for? We'll see how smart you are.
I'm not
A
gonna
Red
guess this
Sox
one.
guy.
Was it a pitcher?
Yeah.
A Red Sox guy. He was traded to the...
I'm pretty sure it was Don Schwal.
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Schwal played for the Red Sox or not, but... Well, there you go. You stumped me again.
I was sad because, Pagliarone, he's a Pasta brother. And I thought he was good. I thought he was good. I don't know. But I like Smokey. I love Smoke. What a name, Smokey Burgess,
Oh, that's so great. Those nicknames, I think we probably talked about it on your show in the past, that the nicknames have kind of gone by the wayside. They're not the same. They're not like they used to be. I don't know whether it's because players weren't offended, because like Dr. Strangelove, you could never call anybody like that in the big leagues, Dr. Strangelove now.
Yeah.
They'd be offended by it, whereas Dick Stewart took it almost like a badge of honor.
Yeah. Maybe he went to the Red Sox for Don Schwal. I don't know.
Well, let's go with your first call.
Yeah, sometimes I'm right.
And speaking of nicknames, this just came to mind. Because people are so easily offended, you don't use those nicknames anymore, right?
Yeah.
When Brian Giles, you remember Brian Giles?
Yes.
When he came to the Pirates from the Cleveland Indians, Brian Giles was a home run hitter, RBI guy on a bad Pirates team. They traded him to Cleveland for Ricardo Rincon, a relief pitcher. And what a trade that was. Probably the best left fielder in the last 50 years for the Pirates. I don't think that's a stretch at all. One of the greatest left fielders in the history of the Pirates, frankly. But he comes to the Pirates, and he plays left field as well as anybody in that ballpark, PNC Park. He hits 35 homers, drives in at least 99 runs 2 or 3 straight years in a row. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But just does tremendous work. And when he runs around the outfield, he's kind of compact. He's not maybe 5'9", 5'10", maybe, but really stocky build. And the first thing that came to mind, the way he played the game, the way he ran around the outfield, the way he ran the bases, the way he swung the bat, the power. The first thing that came to mind was, he's like, this guy's like an animal playing the game. So I called him Animal for the first year, maybe the first few months. Here's the Animal, Brian Giles, coming to the plate. It was just a nickname that came to mind. Well, he saw me one night in the garage. We parked in the player garage under the right field seats at PNC Park. And he's a nice guy, and to this day, a friend. He did a real favor for me this last year. He's retired, lives in San Diego. But he says, hey, my wife does not like you calling me Animal. So can you call me something else? So I bagged it. I didn't call him Jilly, I guess, was his nickname. Brian Giles, Jilly. But I thought, doggone it, isn't that a shame?
Yeah.
Then, later, Jack Wilson, the Pirates shortstop.
Yep, All-Star.
All-Star. I called him Jack Flash because he was so flashy.
Tell me he didn't like it.
Well, it wasn't he who didn't like it.
His wife.
No, it was some of his teammates. He said they don't like kind of the way I play. They want me to kind of tone it down a little bit. Well, I said to him, the heck with your teammates. I'm still going to call you Jack Flash. He said, okay, do what you want. So I did. and that nickname stuck with him because Jumpin' Jack Flash from the Rolling Stones, right?
Yep.
And we used to then play that when he came to the plate, kind of his walk-up song. But I thought, well, what a heck of a thing for his teammates not like the fact that he plays the game with such flair and heart. And yeah, a lot of the stuff Jack did was probably over the top. I would say so. He would dive for balls that he didn't have to. Sometimes dive unnecessarily for balls. And, just he'd go all out. He'd sprint out to foul grounds or a pop-up they had no chance of getting. But would you rather have that than a guy who played lazily and uncaring? I mean, if I have my druthers, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, like that guy they paid a lot of money for. What was his name? Bell?
Derek Bell.
They brought him in. I remember meeting him in
the operation shut down. He quit in spring training.
Yeah, I met him in the lobby of at Three River Stadium, and I can't.
Yeah, that was Derek Bell.
Yeah, Derek Bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember Hey, you know what? Back to Giles. If he didn't like Animal, how about Nature Boy? Because I understand he didn't like clothes. Didn't he run out on the outfield naked or something?
Well, I think he took batting practice the outdoor cages at McKechnie Field naked before the gates opened. And I think the owners were in town, if I recall correct. And so the owners were there for like the weekend, and they were given the tour of McKechnie Field, and some of the wives of the owners were around. They walked out and they what is going on here?
Oh, boy.
There's Brian Giles. He's crazy.
He was a
he
character.
still is. He's nuts.
Yeah,
he's a character.
Yeah, I like guys like that. Yeah. But no, you got to be real careful today with nicknames and that. But these were not nicknames because the pitching staff at one time consisted of moose, lamb, and veal.
The mixed grill.
Yeah, the mixed grill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you realize that if people were as offended back then as they are now, 100 years plus, we would not be called the Pittsburgh Pirates. Think about that. Are you aware of the history of the nickname Pirates?
No.
Back in 1889, the Major League players decided that they wanted to break off from the major leagues and form their own league. They called it the Players League. So they broke away from the major leagues and they formed these teams amongst themselves. It was kind of like their way of striking. They weren't happy with the way they were paid and so forth. Well, they tried this. So it was called the Players League, started by themselves, kind of like their own union.
Yep.
Well, it was a disaster, a complete disaster. It didn't work. So the players then had to go back to their original teams, or so they were supposed to. Well, a member of the Philadelphia team named Louis Bierbauer, who had broken away from the Philadelphia team, the Pirates liked the Pittsburgh Alleghenies, I should say, liked the way he played. And they signed him. So he, again, was supposed to go back to Philadelphia. Pittsburgh, the Alleghenies, liked the way, even though he was not supposed to go to Pittsburgh, he was supposed to go back to his original team, the Philadelphia club. Pittsburgh started him up and signed him. And Philadelphia and the rest of the major leagues were so outraged about what the Pittsburgh team had done. They said, "You pirated Louis Bierbauer."
Wow.
Well, rather than just be upset about that nickname and being called Pirates, they, tongue-in-cheek, the Pittsburgh team said, "You know what? We like that. We'll call ourselves Pirates since you're saying we pirated, we stole someone. Yeah, you're right. We're a bunch of pirates."
Wow, I never knew that. See what I learned on my own show? Thank you, Greg.
So lo and behold, the Pittsburgh Alleghenies become the Pittsburgh Pirates because other teams were outraged about the way they handle things. So rather than, again, be offended, as is the case these days, they accepted that nickname, that moniker. So thankfully, we weren't offended back then, or else we would still be called the Alleghenies. But how great a nickname is the Pirates.
Yeah, I remember the old logo. I remember the jerseys from the 60s, when guys like Joe Christopher, those muscles would stick out,
Oh, yeah, the sleeveless jersey.
Yeah. I mean, they just look like you didn't want to mess with them.
Ted Klazewski would not wear an undershirt.
Yeah.
To show off the big guns, right?
I ate at his steakhouse at one time.
Ted Plazewski?
Yeah,
I didn't know he had a steakhouse.
in Cincinnati. The worst steakhouse I've ever been to was Pete Rose's place.
Is it bad?
It was awful. It was awful. Hey, I got to ask you about this. Today, with today's climate, social media, could we call Willie Mays the Say Hey Kid?
Oh, there's so many nicknames you couldn't use today.
Yeah. How about Cobra? Cobra. He's got a book out, by the way.
That's right. I know you're working on trying to line them up.
Yeah, I don't want to get Dave because I don't think Dave knows his own name now. He's going through some problems, so I want to try and get maybe the writer.
Well, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I got to, anybody comes out with a book, and most sports books are, but this might be a good one. I don't know.
I would imagine it's very interesting. I think they tell some tales in there we've not heard before about Parker.
Like Doc Ellis's book. I mean, he said it all.
Oh, he was outrageous. Outrageous.
Oh, man, what a guy. I still think I have the cover of Sports Illustrated.
He did things for headlines.
Yes, he did.
Steve Blass contends that he was never on LSD the night he threw the no-hitter, although that's what Doc claimed.
Yeah.
And of course, that became, a urban legend.
Yeah.
That he was on LSD the night he threw a no-hitter.
Well,
but Steve thinks he was just.
Yeah. I got a scoop for you.
Al Oliver?
No. That's good. Remember the home run ball, Reggie Jackson, the All-Star game?
The World Series at Dodger Stadium that he hit it about 500 feet. The one I hit off Doc Ellis over the roof at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, Doc says he doesn't remember it. I think he was drinking Fireballs before he pitched.
Probably.
You know what I mean? But he was a character. I loved the guy. I really.
So did Steve. So did his teammates.
Yeah. That would.
Steve loved Doc Ellis.
Yeah. Could you call Don Clendenin Clink? I don't know.
No chance.
Yeah.
No chance. You look at probably now. I'm not exaggerating. 75%, let's say, of nicknames from the early 20th century, and we should do that as an exercise one day. Just gather a bunch of old-time nicknames.
Yep.
And just throw them out there and say to ourselves, is this okay? If someone were nicknamed this today, would it stick? Would you be allowed to be called this anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know. People are just so sensitive to everything.
Yeah. Well, I liked it when they called me the Fabulous DeFabio on sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Now, you might not be able to be called that.
No, not anymore. Now that I'm getting old and forgetful. No.
Chili Billy. You mentioned Chili Billy
Cardilli,
right?
Yeah. I used to watch that every Saturday night. Hey, you know what? I just made a note. We ought to do that on nicknames. We'll do that when you come down and spend a couple of hours with us.
That's a deal. Think about those you mentioned the 60s teams, the Kit and Harvey Haddocks. I don't know. I guess that's not offensive.
No.
Who was the dog? Bob Skinner?
Yeah, I couldn't do that today.
Couldn't do that.
No.
Jim Woods, Possum. Probably couldn't call him that.
Couldn't call him Possum today.
Who was Don Hope? Tiger?
Tiger? You could do that.
Yeah, because Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still feasible.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just off the top of my head, those nicknames back then. And I'm talking, again, early 20th century, the little things that people would be called things about, was it Sad Sam Jones?
Yeah.
Would that be allowed?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sudden Sam McDowell, he was sudden in the bar scene.
Well, there you go.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, I have an assignment for you. I have an assignment for me to work on nicknames that we'll do a show when you come on down and have dinner and be on the air. Listen, here's what I want you to do. All right? I want you to call Mr. Nutting. You don't have to ask him for a raise. Say, I got an idea for you. It would sell some tickets. Let LeBron James become a part owner. What do you think?
Why was that? Why?
I think he would sell tickets.
LeBron James would sell tickets as being a part owner?
Yeah, I think so, because, they don't like him in Boston already because he always used to beat the Celtics. And he wants to own a team, become an owner.
Well, Magic Johnson's an owner, the Dodgers, part owner of the Dodgers.
Yeah, well, whatever.
But they don't come out to see Magic Johnson. They come out to see a world champion.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Actually, I think, who is it? Is it Fernando Tatis? There's some player
Yeah, Tatis.
There's Machado. Who is it? There's some player who owns part of the team now.
Yeah,
He's a
it's
current
Tatis.
Major League player.
It's Tatis. He signed that $1 zillion contract. Yeah. Okay, last question. We got a minute. The Yankees and the Mets, they're going to allow 20% in the stadium. What's the Pirates? Is it 20%?
Currently, well, right now it's 25, but they're backing down because the governor said 50%, so the Pirates are, I think, trying to reassess. Sounds like it's going to go higher.
Okay.
Bill, I got something about this, the governor of New York.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I heard about this about an hour ago.
Okay.
Please, talk about this after I'm off the air, that's fine.
Okay.
Please help me understand that this 20% includes you have to both show a negative test that you don't have COVID and that you have been vaccinated, okay?
Well, what if you're not vaccinated? If you're not vaccinated, they're not going to let you in?
Correct. So, but explain to me, though, if this is the case, that you have to show a negative test and that you have been vaccinated, therefore, why only 20%?
Wow.
Why not 100%? If that's the rule, let anyone in who has been vaccinated and who is negative. Explain that to me.
I'll have Lola explain it.
I beg you, tell me, what is going on here?
We'll talk about that in the next segment. That's a good thing. That's unbelievable.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
All right. Hey, have fun on your day off.
Okay. Thank you, Bill.
And I'll work on my assignment, nicknames.
Please.
Yeah, we'll have fun. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Bill. See ya.
Boy, is that weird, huh? Weird. Well, politics in New York, whatever. Politics in Pennsylvania, it's everywhere, all right? Do we discuss politics here? I don't talk about politicians because I can't even spell the word. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about events. Interesting event this weekend with the Nailers and a lot of the restaurants now, starting to fill the seats where before we had signs, this table not for use and all that. Ryan Tucker will join us from West Banco and the Capitol on the Variety Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. A child is dead and a woman severely wounded. A man is in custody in Beckley. Police were called to the Lewis Ritchie Apartments in Beckley about 2:45 this morning for that disturbance.
They located a female victim, a 24-year-old female victim who was suffering from apparent knife wounds. She was taken to a local hospital where she remains in critical condition. Also on scene, they located a 7-year-old male child who was deceased.
That is Lieutenant David Allard of the Beckley Police. They also found 34-year-old Rashad Thompson, who lived at the apartment. He's in custody now on charges of murder, attempted murder, malicious wounding, and other charges. Active cases of COVID-19 have risen for a second day in West Virginia after 2 months of trending downward. Today, the DHHR indicates 5,301 active cases. That's up 94 from yesterday. And for a third straight day, Hardy County is in the red on the daily alert map and joined today by Webster County as well. There are 33 vaccine clinics happening at various locations around the state today. Those clinics organized through vaccinate.wv.gov. And Governor Jim Justice says he's not satisfied with the pace of those vaccinations, especially for thousands over age 65 still waiting.
It gives me the motivation to go back and double check and find a methodology that can maybe even do better than what we've already done. Now, what we've already done is fabulous. There's no question about that, but we need to always try to reach out and do better.
You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. A Morgantown man charged in connection with the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol has had his preliminary hearing continued until Monday. George Tanios was due to appear in federal court today to answer to the charges stemming from his alleged role in the march on the Capitol and the alleged assault of 3 Capitol police officers, one of whom later died. Now, he's one of the 2 men charged with participating in that assault that included the spraying of the 3 officers with a chemical repellent used to ward off bears, but he has not been charged in the death of Officer Brian Sicknick. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. In the NIT's first round last night, 2 games were on schedule. Richmond rallied from a 6-point halftime deficit and beat Toledo 76-66. Richmond moves on to the next round. Western Kentucky got a couple of late free throws from Tavion Hollingsworth and beat St. Mary's 69-67. Charles Bassey, 19 points and 11 rebounds in the win for the Hilltoppers as they move on to the next round. The NCAA tournament officially gets underway tonight with the first four. Texas Southern takes on Mount St. Mary's, while Appalachian State will play Norfolk State. Then it's Drake against Wichita State, and the nightcap is UCLA and Michigan State. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by the Score on the Watchdog.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Well, as the world's blandest man, the idea of insurance made for me is almost riveting.
Big fan of beige?
I find other neutrals too unpredictable.
That's cool. Liberty Mutual is just here to protect your home with customized insurance.
And here we've got my doorstop collection.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business and powered by Intel Core processors. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more. All with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. Again, that's 877-ASK-DELL.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
In a hurry and need to see a doctor? The Woodsdale Health Center and Walk-In Clinic is located across from Little Caesars on National Road. Open 7 to 7 Monday through Friday. Patients can receive primary care, treatment of minor illnesses and injuries, wellness visits and physicals. There's also a lab draw station open from 8 to noon weekdays. A division of Wheeling Hospital, the Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Menards has Sylvania's new True Wave Natural Spectrum LED bulbs. They offer the best in lighting technology and bring out the positive feelings of happiness, relaxation, and warmth while reducing eye strain and improving the sleep cycle. A 4-pack is $5.99 after sale price and 11% rebate. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through March 20th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Listen to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio just the way you like it.
Is that my plug? What'd you do? Take my plug and put it in your plug? Because I'm looking at Lola like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you thought it was dead air. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. We won't suspend you.
Good.
Let's get started with something Greg Brown of the Pirates has talked about. And he got to notice about a half hour ago about what they're doing at like Yankee Stadium, 20%. But you got to test negative and you got to have the shot. Isn't that a little bit of a control thing by whatever?
It's wild. I know. It's hard to imagine. That could be the norm.
But what if you're waiting for the shot? You want to go to a Yankee game?
You're gonna have
They're not going to allow you.
It doesn't sound. I guess if you test negative, I'm sure that the cost of the test is going to be in your ticket now.
Well, I never thought of that. Somebody's got to pay.
It's not cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Do you know?
I don't know for sure, but I mean.
Lola, what do you think of that scenario in New York?
Well, I agree with Greg. If you're going to have a double thing to get in, why should you not open it up to 100%? If you're vaccinated and you're negative, what's the difference?
For sure.
But
that's a lot of
all
loss of
these,
revenue.
but nobody can figure this stuff out. It's just mind-boggling. It's like here, you can have 100% capacity in a restaurant, but you have to social distance. Now, how do you have 100% capacity and still have 3, 6 feet, whatever the guidelines are today? They'll probably change again. It's ridiculous. And you can have 100% capacity, but you still can't have a live band. What is up with that?
Yeah, no vocals.
Yeah, you can have a guitar, but no vocals. So the guitar's playing this, whatever. Jason tells me some unbelievable stories.
They need to sit down and have real people that are dealing with these situations on the ground, locally. And, because now there's several counties now again in the state that are red. All right, so in those counties, perhaps they need to pull back on stuff. But don't penalize everybody that's in a green county because there's some people, some red counties. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
They don't understand it. That's why it's such hodgepodge. Yeah. But I've heard that about concerts too, that I don't know that this is true, but Live Nation, who is one of the biggest promoters, in the country, are talking about you'll have to be vaccinated to get into a concert. So people are talking about electronic vaccination passports.
Or they'll put a chip in our hand. I found the book 1984. I got to read it again. So, whatever. I think it's all about control. You agree?
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Oh, you took the safe way out. All right. It was good to see you and all the guys and gals working Friday.
I know you stopped down to the game.
Every time I pass somebody, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's like the whole family's there.
I'm telling you, it's fun, and that's a reason to come to a Nailers game. Is it's some sort of normal? Because honestly, it feels pretty normal in there. I mean, do you agree?
People,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Even
wearing
if you
a mask,
got 800 people,
Yeah, it's some sort of normal. Yeah, but I would not be shocked if a big company like Live Nation makes that call, and to me, it's complicated.
And you ran out of ice cream between periods 1 and 2. How do you run out of ice cream? Especially when Darnell, my buddy from the Toyota place, was going to buy. He came over and said, Bill, they ran out of ice cream, but I got you a pretzel. It was pretty good.
Was it? Yeah. There you go.
And cheap. Yeah. Well, I didn't have to pay for it. And his son liked the taco in a bag, which is a big seller. I know because, River City produces it, but yeah. But it was a good time. It'd be nice if the team would win. But I noticed all of the kids there, when, it says make noise on the scoreboard, they would all yell and everything, and they don't care who wins or loses.
The fun and maybe some fights.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
I try and promote that. I like fights as long as I'm not involved. And I like the one with the cans. You get the two guys in a circle. Was that your idea?
No, but that's great, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it when the one guy missed and then he did backwards and hit the can. Even the guy that lost, he finished the remainder of the cans. I don't know what they win. Maybe they win a can of Coke. I don't know. But it's a fun thing.
It is it's a fun time down there,
Yeah.
Hockey's a high action sport, it's nonstop, so it's fun to watch no matter what.
Yeah.
But, and then in other news, we did have to postpone our PBR until October. Like professional bull riding.
Hold it. We better call an ambulance. Lola just fell over.
Sonia told me that yesterday.
Yeah, so it won't be until October, and fingers crossed by then, there are no more loops we have to jump through, and we can just be a usual event.
Well, what if you put Lola in that cage, which I think she's going to? Does the bull have to be vaccinated? No, I'm serious. You're going to let the bull in if he doesn't be vaccinated? What if he tests positive?
I don't know.
First of all, who'd want to test that bull, right?
Oh, yeah. There's some power there.
So that's going to be October, huh?
Into October, yes.
Please give me a positive answer to this question. What about a doo-wop?
Dewalt, we're probably looking around the same time
Bobby Rydell's going to be dead by the time he gets here. Sorry, Bobby, if you're listening. I mean, it happens. You know, you're getting old. And the oldies but goodies are, going to the spirit in the sky. But, this will be, what, third year for that?
Yeah, we've been pushed back quite a bit.
And you're trying to bring back Bobby, right?
Yeah, we're trying to keep the same lineup. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. It's not a
And what if we
time.
have another virus problem, I don't know. I have no idea. No PBR till October. How about the musicals? Can you give me good news there?
I have no news, which...
That's good news.
Good news, right?
So by the time you have musicals, where are the trucks going to park because they're going to tear up the streets?
Yeah, I know. Maybe they'll have musicals, but they can't sing, and I'm going to speed off to mime.
Oh,
mime everything.
Because I remember those big trucks. It was what, 3 big trucks for Jersey boys?
For sure, yeah. They load up that alley. They're carts and carts and carts of stuff, and that's a great sight to see. Those trucks pulled in front of the theater up there.
That's not a nice sight today. I almost lost my police car in a pothole.
Nope.
They're big.
And with the rain doesn't help.
No,
I
man.
can't even see
I
it.
can't see it.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. That's why I'm dizzy today. My head kept hitting the roof. Whoa, I missed that one. Yeah, but whatever. It's bad on the highways too, and I feel sorry for the guys working on the bridge out in the rain, God bless them, And they're working, so that's a good thing. And you're working, right?
That's
You got a big
great
weekend
thing.
coming up, eh?
We have 3 more games
Got to
this
put the
weekend
puck in
coming
the
up.
net, eh?
That's right. Have a big wins this weekend and get some people in there and have some fun down
I
there
have
at
to
the
put
arena.
pressure on DJ. 4 out of 6 points. What do you think?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think that's a good.
Let's hear you say, got to put the puck in the net, eh? I want to hear your Canadian. Come on.
You got to put the puck in the net, eh?
I like that. Yeah. All right. And they bring in the fighter, right?
I think, yeah, hopefully.
He didn't do anything when I was there. I want to have him on the talk show if he took somebody's brains out, He got in maybe 2 minutes. Well, I wouldn't want to put him on the ice because he's going to get in a fight. You're going to be shorthanded, and you're going to lose, which he already did, but they got a point overtime. Your goaltending's been great.
Had some good goaltending. We had that big win last Tuesday before the week. I think it was 6-1 was a big one.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what
Who's coming in this weekend? I didn't look at my schedule.
Wichita Thunder, which is
a
pretty
team
different.
that's not named Indianapolis and Grand Rapids.
Yeah, it's a little bit different this
Whoa,
weekend.
yeah.
Switch it up.
What are they called? Wichita Thunder?
Thunder, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So that should be. I don't
Wait a
really
minute.
remember them playing at the arena before.
Wait a minute. They're good. They're one of the best teams around. It doesn't get easier, does it?
Never does.
By the way, if anybody says to you, did you hear what DeFabio said about our Nailers? I said it. And it went something like this. The Buffalo Sabres are not very good at home. In 12 home games, they're 1-11. They must be watching Naylor home games.
Ouch.
You guys got to win at home to put butts in the seats.
For sure. I mean, that's how you get some fan base,
Yeah, I work at the restaurant. Boy, we need a win. I mean, they're exciting to watch. It's a family entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap tickets, cheap concession, although you didn't have ice cream. It's great entertainment. It's like the Wild Things.
For sure.
I know. When they put a winning streak together, whether it's 3 out of 4, it brings people to the ballparks because they win at home. I don't know.
What's the plan up there this summer? Do you have any?
50% capacity, yeah. That means I'll be working.
That's good.
But, I don't care about me. I can make money doing anything. But, like PNC Park, like your place.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these ushers, that second income's big.
For sure. Yeah, especially up at PNC. I mean, some of those ushers have been there forever. They count on that. That's those beer guys. I mean, that's their.
I did an interview about 3 years ago. I think he passed away. His name was Phil. I'm glad I kept the interview. I have a picture of him in my phone. I'll show you later. 99. He was 101 years old. But he was there when Babe Ruth at Forbes Field hit the 3 home runs or whatever.
Wow.
And he was telling me all kinds of stories.
That's
how
neat.
he would let people, after about 5 innings, move to good seats. Because if you sat behind a pole, you'd have to go, left to right,
Yeah.
I was one of those guys in right field watching Clemente. And believe it or not, after about 5 innings, I would go down, and there was a lot of empty seats where, they were expensive, and the usher would turn his head. That hasn't happened today. But I got a lot of friends that work PNC Park. They work Heinz Field. It's their second job. They need it, They can't live on a fixed income.
No.
And same thing with the Wild Things. Almost everybody, well, I'm happy because they're older than me. That's like when I go to a doo-wop. I love it. I look around like, I'm the youngest one here. Yeah, I look at every row. I'm younger than Denny Magruder. Whatever. How's he doing, by the way? He's got to be happy there's some... the MEC was successful, right?
MEC went great and it went very smooth. It was just just a great week down there.
Yeah.
It was great seeing having lights on every day, and and last week was our best crowd for the Nailers.
Yeah.
We're hoping to do that again this weekend. Have a big crowd.
Right, Ryan, you're going to play host. You ready?
Okay.
Say, Bill, we need a break.
Bill, I think it's time for a break.
Way to go, Ryan. You're perfect for this business. Just wait till I retire. We'll be right back right after this.
Tune in to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, weekday mornings, 7 to 10 a.m. on the Valley's favorite live and local talk radio station, The Watchdog.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information, report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Want to buy your own home but think you can't afford it? What if you got down payment assistance or a discounted interest rate just for being a recent college grad, teacher, nurse, or veteran? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency offers this and more, and our programs are always available for eligible Ohioans, big city, small town, and everywhere in between. Find out if you qualify at myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are.
Rural King has always been committed to the lowest prices guaranteed and to what we believe are pillars in our communities, Christian churches and organizations. From now through March 27th, Rural King is excited to host Church Week. During Church Week, for each valid Rural King receipt submitted to us, Rural King will donate 10% to the registered Christian organization of your choice. Together, let's strengthen our neighborhoods. Visit ruralking.com/churchweek for details.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them, just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Powhatan Point. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Powhatan Point trusts the Watchdog. For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
The weather will affect you every day, whether it's good or bad. The Storm Tracker 7 weather team is here to make sure you're never surprised. You can trust us to help you plan your day.
36 degrees here in Wheeling.
On TV, online, on your phone, our experienced meteorologists are here to help you prepare for what's ahead. Watch the Storm Tracker 7 weather team with Zach Petty, Aaron Myler, and me, Dr. Dave Walker. Weather coverage you can count on, working for you.
Well, the news was broken yesterday about no PBS. PBQ? What is it?
PBR. Professional bull riding.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That'll be October, you think?
October,
Maybe a doo-wop,
8th and 9th, yes.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Charlie Pappas. He hasn't answered my phone calls because he probably knows what I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, he's probably ignoring a lot of phone calls.
Well, I wanted to ask him, if he give me a deal on lumber, because I'm redoing a porch, so that's where he's making his money. Pappas
I know
Lumber in
that.
Burgestown. Beautiful Burgestown, PA. Which was the home of Billy Boy Pizza back in the 70s. Who was the owner? Franco Harris. He didn't make any money then, but he's making a lot of money now with Franco's Pizza on the south side. He used to sell donuts to the government, too. Can you imagine that? What do you do, Franco? I'm selling donuts. Sugar-free donuts to the government. If I'm the government and I'm feeding my soldiers donuts, I don't want them to be sugar-free or whatever, or fat-free.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. But
With the
Franco's
good
a good businessman. All right, any other news locally? Or do we cover all bases?
I think we cover all bases for right now. We're just, still
All right.
going
You want to do
through
the
it.
oldies calendar with me?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I'm familiar with this field at one time, because I played football in Boston at this field. 1953, the Major League Baseball announced that the first team relocation since 1903, the Boston Braves, who played at Nickerson Field, which was the home at one time of the Boston Terriers football team, moving west to Milwaukee. And then in 65, the Braves moved again. They went south to Atlanta. So the Braves were in Boston, Milwaukee, and now Atlanta. And there are people that want the nickname to be removed. I don't think so. You know what I mean? Maybe Indians with that big logo. I don't know. I have no idea. I still say Washington Redskins sometimes, but it's the Washington Football Club. Whatever. Okay. This was a bad move by a popular at one time Italian on this date of 1940, Germany's Adolf Hitler, all right, and Italy's Benito Mussolini. I got a picture of his statue in downtown Rome. They held a meeting and they became buddies. The Italian dictator agreed to join in Germany's war against France and Great Britain. Italy was always famous for beginning a war, starting a war, then leaving, you know? I guess they didn't have the military power back then. You can't give the enemy a glass of wine and expect them not to kill you, right? All right. John Phillips, Lola. Who is he? Do you know?
No.
Mamas and Papas?
Okay.
He was a papa on this date. John Phillips, co-founder of the Mamas and Papas, wrote all of their songs. Ryan, do you remember California Dreamin'?
Oh, yeah.
Every Monday, Lola plays Monday, Monday. You remember? He wrote all those songs. And on this date, he passed away on 2000. I didn't think he was dead that long. What's 2001 from 2021? 20 years?
20 years, yeah.
John Phillips been gone for that many years? Wow. I think he wore the big hat. If you ever watch Google Mamas and Papas on the Ed Sullivan Show, he wore a huge hat, whatever. You don't remember Ed Sullivan, do you?
Oh, yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah? A really big shoe? Yeah. One of the toughest guys to work for. He was tough. And those guys didn't get paid a whole lot of money, but they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. As Mick Jagger said when they sang who was the guy? Jim Morrison, when he said couldn't get much higher?
Yeah.
Ed Sullivan sent his Guffey, or whatever they call him, guy with the bad news, P.O., whatever. Ed Sullivan will not have you on the show again. And Jim Morrison said, we already made the Sullivan Show, man. Yeah, there were a lot of things you couldn't say back then. Today, you can almost get away with everything, right?
Almost anything.
All right, Lola, did you play Mission Impossible at the beginning?
Yes, I did.
Did you know it was Peter Graves' birthday?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, born in 1926, died in 2010. He was the star of Mission Impossible. Ryan, you ever watch that?
With Tom Cruise, yep.
Yeah, I like. Which one did you like? I like the second one better than the first one.
Honestly, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
You gotta give Tom Cruise some credit. He might be a little, crazy out there, but all those stunts he does himself.
All those faces,
Yeah.
I used to wear the face of John Wayne. Then when people would say, Mr. Wayne, I'd pull it off and it's me. No, I didn't. I like the second one and the third one. Is there a Mission Impossible 4?
I think so, yeah.
You know what's coming out this fall?
What's that?
John Wick 4. Can't wait to see all the new guns. All right. But Peter Graves, who was his brother? The sheriff of Gunsmoke, James Arness. Bet you didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that.
See, you can go back to, where are you going, back down to West Bank?
Go back down the arena.
You can tell them what you learned about Graves and Arness, all right? George Plimpton, he was an author. Paper Line, very good book. It's in my top 10. Rio Lobo, Reds, which was a bad movie. Oh, that's the one that lost about $30 million or whatever. Okay, Wilson Pickett. You ever hear of him?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Singer, Midnight Hour, Land of a Thousand Dances, one of my songs, Funky Broadway, and I don't know if Lola, did you like Mustangs or not?
Mustang?
Mustang. Was that one of your cars growing up as a hippie?
Oh, no. No.
You didn't know she was a hippie, did you?
I didn't know that for sure.
No.
She made friends with hippies. How's that sound? Okay?
Yeah.
Can you imagine her on a motorcycle?
Easy
She
rider.
run right over me. Hey, Lola, how about a ride? But Wilson Pickett had a lot of great songs, including Mustang Sally, which I liked, and Don't Knock My Love, which is pretty good. He was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 1991. You ever been there in Ohio?
I have been there. It's awesome.
Is that great?
It's a blast, yeah.
You know how hard I tried to steal Jimi Hendrix's guitar?
I'm sure.
I even had the thing that you can cut the glass out, but I didn't know how to stick it in my pocket.
You've watched too much Mission Impossible.
Yeah, dun, 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 dun. I come through the ceiling, fall on my ass, and get arrested.
Steal
Go down the street to the police station. No, but that's a place that maybe I'll take. I don't know if Mary Ann's ever been there.
That's a great area in Cleveland, too. I just love that whole right there on the lake, and
Yeah.
it's nice.
What was the place that we couldn't go to in the 70s, 80s when we played the Browns? The Flats? You know, that was a bad place. That was like the combat zone in Boston, where you had hookers, XXX theaters, because I used to attend those. But, you know, that was a bad place. You'd get mugged, even if you were with a couple buddies. Now the combat zone, beautiful condos and everything.
Yeah.
That's how the Flats used to be. Now the Flats is a place to go. And that whole side, that north side, is it the north side where the stadiums are? It's a beautiful area. Beautiful restaurants, you know? Unfortunately, the weather sucks, you know?
Yeah.
But if you work as a disc jockey or sportscaster with the union, you can make good bucks, because it's still a big city when it comes to radio ratings. But, and I miss Municipal Stadium, you know? With the old-fashioned troughs so you could take a leak. I loved it.
Yeah.
You know?
Classic.
You got them downstairs. I go always go downstairs. You know what I mean with the wooden doors?
Yeah.
The wooden locks?
Oh, yeah.
And they can see your head when you're standing?
I know, those doors crack me up.
Oh,
Like,
I love it.
seriously, I'm short and my head's popping right at the top of that thing.
Yeah.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1,
We gotta go.
AM 1600, WKKX Wheeling.
Don't ever do anything. Don't ever renovate it.
No, you got some stuff you got to keep.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A grand jury in Washington, D.C. has indicted the two men arrested and charged last week for the assault on Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick. Julian Cater and George Tanios face 10 counts, including conspiracy to injure officers, assault federal officers, and obstruction of an official proceeding, among other charges. The FBI has also released new video focusing on 10 suspects.
As rioters tried to breach the Capitol, a bearded man in sunglasses, gray hat, and red backpack was seen on video hitting officers with a stick or pipe. Another, in a red baseball hat and blue striped sweatshirt, is seen whacking at police shields with a baseball bat. And another rider is seen trying to tear a gas mask from an officer's face. These are, the FBI said, some of the most violent offenders from January 6th who have yet to be identified. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
A hearing on Capitol Hill today focusing on the rise in hate crimes and discrimination against the Asian American community. In Georgia, the investigation continues on whether the suspected gunman was racially motivated in the Atlanta area shooting spree at several spas. 8 people were killed. 6 of the victims were women of Asian descent. State Representative B. Wen in Georgia says recent hate crimes legislation, now law, would fit the violence in this case.
The perpetrator did say he was targeting these establishments because of his sex addiction, and the correlation is he was eliminating the sex workers in these places. That is a gender-based crime.
President Biden and the Vice President will travel to Atlanta tomorrow to meet with state and community leaders. The U.S. announcing its first export of COVID-19 vaccines. America will send a combined 4 million doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine to Mexico and Canada. That vaccine has not been approved in the U.S. for emergency use yet. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call